The GOP says Trump's 91 felonies are helping him with black voters. To which I say, really? That's how little y'all think of us. So let's go ahead and get this.
About him in a way they've never talked about him before. Black Americans online, some of them are saying, I'm voting for Trump now, because they too have sometimes felt they've been unfairly targeted by the criminal justice system.
You watching the video or something, or just got dead
in
air?
this
What happened
country,
here?
nationally,
Free little bro, I
well
love that shirt,
over
bro.
2% of the black vote swinging to the Republicans. That's the election.
Free my man, Big Trump.
He is now
45,
seen by
El
non-political
Presidente.
folks as a rebel, an outsider with swagger. And as one black lady I spoke with earlier today here in New Orleans said, Trump's a gangster.
No talking? What happened here?
Yeah, if you were watching the stream, you would have seen it. Hey,
Icon ass. Shake ass is oblivious. Shake is so oblivious. Like, I mean, Shake, because I distinctly remember us talking about this in the prelim, and Shake was like, "Yeah, I already seen this. I'm like, all right, cool. I should have placed the parlay that Shake was gonna say something during the video. I should have placed it. I should have.
What pisses me off the most is one, they're lying. And two, I bumped into an older black lady and she said, Trump is gangster. All right.
Where? Like where? Where in your life have you ever found yourself bumping into somebody who's gonna have the who even tolerates you? Because this is a true story about how people don't understand the perception. I remember when I played for the Giants, there was a wide receiver there. He swore up and down he was black. He was as white as the clouds in the sky, and I loved him for it. He never had a bad bone in his body, but he always bragged about his best friend and how his best friend had his back from day one. He was always there. He always had his back, and he had 2 drop touchdown passes in practice. He was miserable. He had a bad day. He called his best friend, hey, come pick me up. I'm ready to go, man. And I was sitting there out there talking to him, and when the dude pulled up and opened up his car seat and let him in, he said, hey, this is my best friend. He's my partner, Hero. He works with us. And I looked to him, and I was like, your best friend's your driver? And he's like, he's been my best friend since I was 15. And it's just that. That's what this is a representation of. It's the complete undermining, complete lack of understanding, not understanding that I'm using you as a means of survival, not using you as a means of trying to gain representation. I'm not your friend. I'm just doing this because it's my job. And for this guy, and for these people, they do have some inkling of truth, because we do know that the black vote did increase for the Republicans by no significant margin, but it was an increase, which lets us know that there's a few brainwashed individuals out there who are eating up the shield, that don't understand how they're being conned into this. If you're anybody of rep, you'll notice 2 things that were definitely off about all those pictures. One, Tupac Shakur wasn't born in a day and age where his photo would have showed up in black and white, along with all of his other contemporaries. The fact that they put those pictures in black and white was to show a disadvantaged distance between him and the colorful picture that is Trump. Not even in the process of them trying to be gangster did they want him to fall all the way into the gangster picture. And that's why you should buy one of my shirts, because we should free Lil Bro.
What's your take, Shake?
Here's my thought process on this, right? So one of there's basically no black people who are watching Fox News in general, period. This is just things to say. This is what things for people who watch Fox News to talk amongst themselves, because most likely they don't actually have black people to talk to. Or else, even if they are Fox News watchers, they know black people don't feel that way, right? They know that. As somebody with arrests, not felonies, right? It's not just because you got arrested and I got arrested doesn't make me feel close. I don't want my president to have arrest. My president's supposed to be my role model, except for Bill Clinton. I actually, you know what? Bill Clinton, I still want him to be my role model. The first black president, everybody. The first black president, right?
Shake, stop saying that like it's something cooler to stand on. You are making a fool out of yourself, and I will not stand for you doing that to yourself.
What you mean? How is it? What his policies was actually very in line with the bourgeoisie blacks people.
Really, 3 strikes,
right?
That was
that was a very strong policy of
a lot of households.
social elite.
Because we need to prove that we're tough on crime.
I know what that was, but Democrats got behind that, and Black Democrats in major cities got behind it because they wanted to feel like they were tough on crime too, right? If you look back, many Black bourgeoisie, Black people were behind that. The powers that be in our own community were behind that as well. Look at it; that is a fact.
Yes, and they
right?
were all
So
wrong.
we were behind it.
They were wrong.
That's
So-
hindsight being 2020. Like that
No,
doesn't mean he didn't do what he does.
No. I'm
right?
not
That doesn't
disagreeing
mean-
with what you're saying. I'm just saying they were incorrect in that assumption.
Yes,
And there was
100%.
there was the data was there that already told them having harsher sentences does not stop crime. It never has. So to me, that was just some racism that some stupid Black people bought into. As you once said, Black people chose the wrong white people to look after, to emulate.
Like,
oh, yo, that's a quote from Shake. He was pretty good with that quote. Just want y'all to know I took that from Shake.
Freed slaves chose the wrong white people to emulate. Or people who did not have any culture, who culture was stripped. They chose what was around them, and unfortunately, what was mostly around them was poor, uneducated white people who were just half a step above them. Right, in socioeconomic step, and that's a small half a step. And if you look at traditional Black culture, i.e., Southern Black culture, it is identical to Southern white culture. It is identical. No respect for the law, no respect for education. Right, high values for Christianity. People like, I'm not going to say his name, but we have a friend who don't understand that. Right, there's a reason why. I have several friends who don't understand. It's exactly the same thing. They need to understand they emulated the worst kinds of white people, right? And it's the sad reality of having your culture stripped. As someone from the Caribbean and Hero being of Nigerian descent, right? We grew up where it was still, yes, it was one white person who governed the island, but it was still Black people were the lawyers. We did everything else ourselves. So you didn't have to look, you just looked up to emulate who was above you. Not some toothless hillbilly.
Wow.
You're not
thought he was better than you.
Yeah, like you're really not about to sit up here and tell me like my dad worked 2 jobs just to be pulled over 36 times in 1 month, going back and forth from home because he was driving a nice car. And it got to the point that the officers even got to know his name without the ID. So they knew that what they were doing. It's like, there's no way you're going to tell me that was the intention of tough on crime. And once again, crime only exists if there's someone there to document it. So jaywalkers are committing a crime, but is that something that warrants you being beat over the head and bashed with a nightstick because you did it? Probably not. Especially if you're happen to be doing it in Philly after they win a championship. Talk less of them losing a game. So it's just madness that we can't discern those two. But I'll leave it.
Good.
I mean, like, you got people who watch Candace Owens. Yeah, like, come on. Talking about Trump. Like
Trump?
Black voters would
What?
be here for Trump. Because he got 91 felonies.
Trump's not.
I mean,
like,
if he beats his case, that's a different conversation. If he beats his case, he's got my vote. If he beats all 4 of them, he's got my vote. Untouchable.
Why?
Untouchable. Untouchable.
Shake. Is he untouchable or is he just privileged? This is white privilege.
It's one and the same.
Okay, but I'm saying, are we rewarding?
Right, so
rewarding
listen, you asked me a question.
Okay.
Apparently, we reward mediocrity all the time. That's a society.
I'm saying, are you? I don't care about the masses. I care about you.
Do you really think I'm voting for him? You really get at like you're ruining the content. You're ruining the content. Stop peeling behind the curtain. Like, I was doing a thing, Hero.
Because
I was doing a thing.
Because the truth. But that's the thing, Jake. We can't play with this guy. He's that. Everyone played with him when he came down the escalator, and then he destroyed everything.
Yes, he is.
So hear me out. I'll be honest. There's part of me who does feel right. I won't actually vote for him, but if he beats all 4 cases, right?
When he beats all 4 cases.
If I'm not a person who's going to say when. If he beats all 4, he'll probably beat 1, right? But to beat all 4 you'd basically be telling the U.S. government, I am untouchable. there is nothing you can do or say. You have state and the Southern District of New York, aka the Mike Tyson of prosecuting crime, basically in the world, right? Not just in the country, in the world, the greatest of all time, punching well above their weight. If he beats them in 2 back-to-back cases in Brooklyn, a place where he should be crucified, technically, he should be thrown up on the cross, and he beats them, it'll be vomit-inducing because of what it will show our judicial system has just become. We will then be that shithole nation that we talk shit about, right? America would be just like everybody else, right? Our system would be proven. Our judicial system could be straight up bought. You need the proof? Here it is.
I think
Someone
it's been
goes
proven.
4-0 against the U.S. government. 4-0.
It has been proven.
You know,
it has been proven.
Like,
we have affluenza. Like
that was horrible.
Like
that was horrible.
Yes, but there's a difference between you going up against the feds and you going up against states. He wasn't going up against the feds.
The feds is one thing, but you have to take it upon yourself to realize 2 things. He does need to suffer consequences for the thing, but you have to
100%.
remember, America, we're trusting America to be what we say we are when the doors are closed. That's the hard part there. We're trusting America to do right when nobody's looking. Because when nobody was looking during World War II, we were minding our own business. Until someone's like, hey, why don't y'all come and help out? This shit ain't our problem. And then Japan made it our problem. And that's how we got into this whole mess, right?
Yeah. And
we was giving money to one side in World War II.
We were supposed to help Russia. And they just kept pushing it back and pushing it back until Russia just said, okay, we'll have to do it ourselves. And they opened up more manufacturing, and which helped them become the power that they are today. Well, that we thought they were today, because we saw what Ukraine, they're pretty much, depending on gay super soldiers.
One-handed there, shit. I just, regardless of like, I know like I killed your bid and I'm sorry about that. But like the thing about it is we played with him in the beginning and we saw the consequences for it. Like the pandemic, our sister countries breezed through that shit, and millions of Americans died, and we don't hold them to. Don't look.
Okay, that's a different conversation. Like, so
no,
yes,
not,
medically we were terrible. No. Economically, of the Western nations, America did the best by far. Right, as
at the cost of what? Lives?
Again, that's what. So we look at things differently. I'm for the money, period. Right? If people gotta die, if he dies, he dies. Right?
Wow.
Did you just quote a villain from a Rocky movie?
If he dies, he dies.
Everybody better downvote Shake right now.
the rest, like the second biggest economy in the world, is still reeling from how they chose to go against about COVID. Right? So there is 2 ways to look at it. America,
China, you're speaking of?
Yes, China, second biggest economy in the world, right? It still is nowhere near up and running since post-COVID, right? Since the COVID shutdowns, period, point blank. Economically, it's not the same nation, and it's not going to be the same nation post it. America, economically, at least on paper, when it comes to big business and big banks, right, is doing better. Not the people, we're not doing better, but that doesn't matter. So yes, we chose, unlike our European counterparts, we chose the money, which guess what? Is American people. Choosing the money is American as apple damn pie. That's what it is. Time. We are the most hyper-capitalist nation that has ever existed. Thank the Dutch, right? Who gave us capitalism and the slave trade. They created America. Right? So this is what we are. Like,
I want you all to know
we chose 1 million dead Americans for 33,000 on the Dow.